In the world of mountaineering, some peaks are challenges of skill and endurance, others are challenges of the soul. In the 1990s, a team of young, skilled climbers from Russia set their sights on a mountain that had never been conquered. They were filled with confidence and the spirit of adventure. Their goal was to reach the summit of Mount Kailash in Tibet, a place forbidden by ancient beliefs. They believed their modern equipment and physical strength were enough to overcome any obstacle. They saw the warnings from local guides and monks as simple superstition, old stories meant to scare people away. They were determined to be the first to stand on top of this mysterious peak, no matter the cost. The team began their ascent, pushing against biting winds and the harsh, unforgiving terrain of the Himalayas. But as they climbed higher, something strange happened. They felt an overwhelming sense of dread, a deep, primal fear that they could not explain. It was more than just the usual exhaustion or the fear of falling. It felt as if the mountain itself was pushing them back, telling them to turn around. After reaching a certain altitude, they made a difficult decision. They abandoned their expedition and returned to base camp, defeated not by the weather or a lack of supplies, but by a feeling they could not ignore. They had failed to conquer the mountain. The story, however, does not end there. It takes a much darker and more mysterious turn. After returning home, the climbers, all of them young and healthy, began to experience something terrifying. Their bodies started to age at an unnatural speed. Within just 1 or 2 years they looked like old men. Their hair turned gray, their skin wrinkled, and their bodies grew weak. It was as if they had lived an entire lifetime in a matter of months. This rapid aging process was a medical mystery that doctors could not explain. It was a silent, creeping sickness that stole their youth and their vitality, leaving them frail and exhausted. Tragically, one by one, the members of the expedition passed away. They all died within a few years of their attempt to climb the sacred mountain, not from accidents or known diseases, but from what appeared to be old age. Their story became a chilling legend in the climbing community. It served as a stark and powerful warning to anyone else who might dare to defy the mountain's sanctity. Was it a coincidence? Or was it a curse? Their fate remains one of the most unsettling mysteries tied to this forbidden peak. A reminder that some places in this world hold powers we do not yet understand. Mount Kailash is not the tallest mountain in the world. It is not even the tallest in its region, yet it holds a power and a mystery that draws people from all over the globe. Located in a remote corner of Tibet, this pyramid-shaped peak stands alone, its dark rock faces often covered in a dusting of brilliant white snow. Its unique shape makes it look almost like a man-made structure, a great temple built by nature itself. For centuries, this mountain has been a destination for pilgrims, adventurers, and spiritual seekers. They are not drawn by the challenge of climbing it, but by the intense spiritual energy they feel in its presence. The mountain's allure comes from its status as a sacred place. Unlike Mount Everest, which climbers dream of conquering, Mount Kailash is a mountain that no one is allowed to climb. It is a place of worship, not a trophy to be won. The belief is that climbing it would be a profound act of disrespect. It would be like walking on the roof of a holy cathedral or a sacred temple. This prohibition is deeply respected by people of many faiths. The mystery is not about reaching the top, but about what happens near its base. It is a place where the physical world and the spiritual world seem to meet. This mountain is more than just a piece of rock and ice. It is considered the center of the world, a cosmic axis connecting heaven and earth. Its 4 faces are said to point towards the 4 cardinal directions: north, south, east, and west. Great rivers that give life to millions of people in Asia, like the Indus, Brahmaputra, Sutlej, and Karnali, all begin near this single mountain. This geological fact only adds to its legendary status. It is seen as a source of life, a fountain of spiritual and physical nourishment for the entire continent. Its unique geography makes it a natural wonder, a place that feels special, even before you know the stories. The pull of Mount Kailash is timeless. For thousands of years, people have walked hundreds, even thousands of miles just to see it. They come to experience its powerful atmosphere, and to walk around its base in a sacred ritual. The air here feels different, charged with a strange energy that many visitors report feeling. The silence is profound, broken only by the wind or the chants of pilgrims. It is a place that forces you to be quiet and to look inward. The mountain doesn't just call to the soul. For many it feels like it is the very home of the soul itself. Mount Kailash is incredibly unique because it is a holy site for four major religions: Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and the ancient Bon tradition of Tibet. For Hindus, this mountain is the ultimate sacred place. They believe it is the earthly home of Lord Shiva, one of the most powerful gods. Shiva is known as the destroyer of evil and the transformer of the universe. He is said to sit on the summit of Kailash in a state of perpetual meditation, his divine energy flowing out from the peak and sustaining the cosmos. To a Hindu, the mountain is not just a symbol of Shiva, it is his actual abode, a place of immense power and sanctity. For Buddhists, the mountain is just as important. They know it as Mount Meru, the center of their cosmic universe. They believe it is the home of the Buddha Demchok, who represents supreme bliss and enlightenment. The stories say that a great spiritual battle took place here between a Buddhist sage named Milarepa and a Bon shaman named Naro Bonchung. Milarepa won the contest, establishing Buddhism's dominance in Tibet. Because of this legend, Buddhists see the mountain as a place of immense spiritual power, where one can achieve enlightenment more easily. Its energy is believed to help quiet the mind and open the heart. The Jains also hold Mount Kailash in the highest regard. In their tradition, the mountain is called Ashtapada. It is the sacred site where the first Jain Tirthankara, a great spiritual teacher named Rishabhadeva, attained moksha, or liberation from the cycle of rebirth. For Jains, this is the ultimate spiritual goal. The mountain is therefore a place of final release, a gateway to eternal freedom. Pilgrims who travel here believe they are walking in the footsteps of their first great master. Visiting the mountain is a way to honor his journey and to seek their own spiritual liberation, making it a profoundly important pilgrimage destination. Finally, for the followers of the Bon religion, which is the indigenous spiritual tradition of Tibet that existed before Buddhism, the mountain is the most sacred place on earth. They call it Tagzig Olmo Lung Ring. They believe it is the place where their founder, Tonpa Shenrab, descended from the heavens. It is the source of all their spiritual power and the heart of their entire culture. The Bonpo walk around the mountain in a counterclockwise direction, opposite to the Hindus and Buddhists. This mountain unites these four different faiths, each seeing it as the center of their world and the home of their most important figures. Section 4, The Pilgrim's Path. A journey through time. You know, the most important ritual at Mount Kailash isn't climbing it, but rather walking around it. This pilgrimage is known as the Kora, or Parikrama. It's a 52-kilometer trek that circles the base of the mountain. For believers, this isn't just any hike. It's a profound spiritual journey said to cleanse the soul of its sins. A single circuit is believed to wash away the sins of one lifetime. And if you can imagine, completing 108 Koras, a sacred number in these religions, is said to grant enlightenment, or nirvana, freeing the soul from the endless cycle of death and rebirth. This journey, it's both a physical test and a deep spiritual practice. The path of the Kora is difficult and challenging. Pilgrims must cross high mountain passes, including one that's nearly 5,630 meters high. They face thin air, unpredictable weather, and freezing temperatures. Some devout pilgrims make the journey even more difficult. They perform body-length prostrations, where they lie down, stretch their body forward, get up, and then lie down again from where their fingertips touched. Completing a Kora this way can take weeks. This act of extreme devotion shows their complete surrender to the mountain's spiritual power. It's a powerful symbol of letting go of the ego and dedicating oneself to a higher purpose. One of the most persistent legends about the area is that time behaves differently here. Visitors and pilgrims have often reported strange experiences. Some say that their hair and nails grow faster while they are near the mountain. A few days spent in the region can feel like a few weeks in terms of biological changes. This has led to the belief that the mountain is a place where time accelerates. The story of the Russian climbers who aged rapidly and died is the most extreme example of this phenomenon. These stories contribute to the mountain's aura of mystery, suggesting that the laws of physics as we know them might not fully apply here. These accounts of accelerated time are part of the mountain's mystical identity. For pilgrims, this is not a scientific curiosity but a spiritual truth. They believe the intense energy of the mountain affects everything, including the human body and the passage of time. For them, spending time near Lord Shiva's home or the cosmic Mount Meru naturally has a transformative effect. The journey around the mountain is not just a walk through space, but a journey through time and consciousness. It's a ritual that connects them to the ancient past, the present moment, and the promise of a liberated future, all at once. Section 5. Science on the Summit. Unlocking Earth's Secrets. While Mount Kailash is a place of deep faith, it's also attracted the attention of scientists who want to understand its many mysteries. Researchers have studied the region, and their findings are just as fascinating as the legends. One of the most interesting discoveries is the presence of unusual magnetic fields. Instruments have detected strange magnetic anomalies around the mountain. Some people believe these fields are what cause compasses to spin wildly and equipment to malfunction. While scientists are still studying the cause, some speculate it could be due to large deposits of magnetic rock or some other unknown geological feature deep beneath the surface. Another area of scientific interest is the mountain's perfect, almost symmetrical shape. Geologists are intrigued by its four distinct faces, which align so closely with the cardinal directions. It looks like a giant, naturally formed pyramid. Some theories propose that it is not a typical mountain formed by tectonic plates crashing together. Instead, it might be the core of a much older, larger mountain that has been eroded by wind and ice over millions of years. This process could have carved out its unique shape, leaving behind the hard, dark rock we see today. The mountain's geology remains a puzzle that scientists are still working to solve. The stories of accelerated time and rapid aging have also prompted some scientific curiosity, though they are very difficult to study. Some researchers have suggested that if these effects are real, they might be linked to the strange magnetic fields or other unknown atmospheric conditions. High altitudes and low oxygen levels can certainly affect the human body in strange ways, but they do not explain the extreme aging reported in the legends. For now, there is no accepted scientific explanation for these phenomena. The reports remain anecdotal, part of the mountain's folklore, but they continue to inspire questions about what might be possible in such a unique environment. Scientists have also studied the health of the local population and the pilgrims who visit. They have found that people who live at high altitudes for generations develop unique biological adaptations. However, the extreme stories of rapid aging remain outside the realm of what modern medicine understands. The scientific community generally views these tales as myths or exaggerations, but the combination of strange magnetic fields, unique geology, and persistent unusual reports makes Mount Kailash a place where science is still trying to catch up with the legend. The mountain keeps its secrets well guarded from both climbers and scientists. Section 6, where legends and logic meet. The unanswered question. When we look at Mount Kailash, we see two different stories. On one side, we have the ancient myths. These are stories of gods, demons, cosmic battles, and spiritual liberation. For thousands of years, these legends have shaped how people see the mountain. They describe it as the center of the universe, a divine pillar connecting our world to the heavens. These stories tell us that the mountain is alive with sacred energy, a force that can cleanse sins, grant enlightenment, and even alter time itself. The myths give the mountain its soul and its purpose, explaining why it is a place to be worshipped, not conquered. On the other side, we have science. Science offers explanations based on observation, measurement, and logic. It tells us about geology, magnetic fields, and the effects of high altitude on the human body. Scientists look for evidence to explain the mountain's pyramid shape, the source of its rivers, and the strange magnetic readings. Science tries to understand the world through facts and physical laws. From a scientific perspective, stories of rapid aging and divine beings are likely metaphors or misunderstandings of natural phenomena. Logic seeks a rational explanation for every mystery, breaking it down into parts we can understand. The real mystery of Mount Kailash lies where these two worlds, myth and science, overlap. Could the ancient stories contain clues to real physical phenomena? For example, when the legends talk about a powerful energy, could they be describing the unusual magnetic fields that scientists are now detecting? When they speak of time moving differently, could it be an ancient way of explaining real, though subtle physical effects on the body caused by the unique environment? Perhaps the old stories are not just superstitions, but early attempts to explain something real that people experienced but did not have the scientific language to describe. In the end, Mount Kailash reminds us that there are still things in this world that we do not fully understand. Maybe the truth is not found in choosing between myth and science, but in listening to both. The mountain remains a powerful symbol of the unknown. It challenges us to be humble and to accept that some mysteries might be beyond our current reach. Whether you see it as the home of a god or a geological wonder, its power is undeniable. The unanswered question is not what the mountain is, but what it represents. The timeless human search for meaning in a world full of mystery and wonder.